Keir Starmer's grand plan to tackle illegal migration has just been branded laughable by none other than former Conservative MP Michael Brown. He didn't hold back, declaring that Labour's proposal to pay countries like Turkey to stem the flow of migrants has not a chance in hell of working. Starmer's approach, hailed by some as a diplomatic solution, is being ripped apart by critics who say it's naive, expensive, and destined for failure. And folks, what Michael Brown said on GB News will leave you questioning if Labour even understands the crisis at all.
Michael Brown, let's bring you in. Has this kind of deal got any fangs, or is it just all performative?
Oh, it hasn't got a chance in hell. Martin, Turkey, there's not a hope. This morning it was reported that Turkey are themselves just simply getting rid of as many migrants that they have as possible. They're all going to Bulgaria, and next stop, after a few European countries, into Britain. So there's no hope.
They've got 4 million refugees there. They've taken a lot of people in.
Yes, but they are today, they made an announcement today, Erdogan's government made an announcement today that is going to stop, that they are going to export people out of their country. They are going to deport, and they're going to then get into Bulgaria, and then there'll be fast transport onto the French
Nigel
coast.
Nelson, isn't that the point? These kind of containment deals, here you go, here's a few £100 million to make sure they stay in your country. The moment they're out the border, it's toothless. They'll be straight, toot sweet, all the way to Dover.
Keir Starmer is pitching a bold plan to tackle one of Britain's most pressing crises, illegal migration. His idea involves striking deals with countries like Turkey, offering financial incentives in exchange for their cooperation in reducing the flow of migrants heading towards Europe and ultimately the UK. Labour has framed this as a cooperative, humane approach that will address the issue at its root. But former Conservative MP Michael Brown is having none of it. Speaking passionately on GB News, Brown ripped apart Labour's proposal, calling it unrealistic and accusing Starmer of failing to grasp the geopolitical complexities of the migrant crisis. Starmer thinks he can solve this crisis with money, that Turkey will suddenly stop exporting migrants just because Labour asks nicely and waves a cheque. It's pure fantasy. This isn't leadership, it's weakness disguised as diplomacy, Brown fumed. Brown's criticism is rooted in Turkey's recent history. As a major transit country for migrants from the Middle East, Africa and beyond, Turkey has been accused of using migration as a bargaining chip in its negotiations with the European Union. The 2016 EU-Turkey deal, which offered billions of euros in exchange for stemming migration flows, was initially hailed as a success but quickly revealed its limits. Brown pointed to this precedent as evidence that Labour's plan is doomed to fail. The EU tried this years ago, and what did it get them? Temporary relief at best. Turkey knows it holds all the cards. They'll take the money and keep doing what they're doing. Starmer is throwing British taxpayer money into a black hole. Despite the criticism, Labour leaders have been quick to defend the plan. Shadow Home Secretary Yvette Cooper has championed the proposal as a pragmatic solution to an international crisis that requires global cooperation. Speaking at a press conference, Cooper insisted, "This isn't about quick fixes or headline-grabbing soundbites, it's about building long-term partnerships to tackle the root causes of illegal migration. No single country can solve this issue alone, and Labour's plan is about showing leadership on the world stage." Labour also emphasised that the proposal goes beyond Turkey. Starmer's team is exploring similar agreements with other countries involved in migration routes, including North African nations. They argue that by addressing migration at its source, the UK can reduce the number of dangerous crossings across the English Channel and disrupt the smuggling networks profiting from human misery. Unsurprisingly, the Conservatives have seized on the controversy to attack Labour's credibility on immigration. Prime Minister Rishi Sunak, who has faced his own challenges with the migrant crisis, accused Starmer of offering a weak and ineffective solution. Labour's plan is nothing more than a checkbook approach to a problem that requires firm action and strong borders. While we've taken tough steps like the Rwanda deportation scheme to deter illegal crossings, Labour wants to outsource the problem to Turkey and hope for the best, Sunak said during a PMQ's exchange. The Prime Minister also highlighted the legal and logistical challenges of implementing Labour's plan. Striking international agreements of this nature can take years, and there's no guarantee that countries like Turkey would agree to Labour's terms, or that they would honour their commitments even if they did. The controversy has sparked a fierce debate among the public. On social media, hashtags like Starmer Migrant Plan, Stop the Boats, and Brown Speaks Truth have trended as users weigh in on the unfolding drama. The responses are as divided as the political landscape itself. Critics of Labour's plan have flooded platforms like Twitter with scathing comments. One user wrote, "Why should the UK pay millions to Turkey when our own borders are in chaos? This is peak Labour incompetence." Another added, "Starmer can't even run his own party properly. Now he thinks he can fix an international crisis? Give me a break." Experts have also weighed in on the debate, and their assessments are no kinder to Labour's plan. Migration analyst Dr. Fiona Clarke criticised the feasibility of Labour's proposal, noting the complexities of negotiating such deals. International agreements like this sound good in theory but are incredibly difficult to implement. Turkey has little incentive to cooperate unless the financial offer is enormous, and even then, there's no guarantee they'll follow through. Starmer is oversimplifying a very complicated issue, Clarke said. Meanwhile, economist Sara Pinheiro raised concerns about the cost of Labour's approach. With the UK already grappling with economic challenges, she questioned whether taxpayers would support funneling money to foreign governments without concrete results. If this plan fails, and there's a high chance it will be a colossal waste of money at a time when every penny counts, Pinheiro warned. For Keir Starmer, the stakes couldn't be higher. With a general election looming, immigration is shaping up to be a defining issue. Labour's approach represents a clear break from the Conservatives' tough rhetoric, but critics like Michael Brown argue that it risks alienating voters who favour strong border policies. Brown issued a stark warning about the potential fallout for Starmer. The British public wants action, not empty promises or theoretical deals that may never happen. If Starmer goes into the next election with this plan, he's handing the Tories a weapon to destroy him. His comments reflect a broader concern within Labour's ranks about whether the plan will resonate with voters in key constituencies, particularly in the so-called red wall areas that Labour must reclaim to win back power. For now, Labour is standing by its proposal, insisting that diplomacy and international cooperation are the only way to tackle a crisis of this magnitude. But with critics from both sides of the aisle lining up to condemn the plan, the pressure on Starmer is mounting. Can Labour sell this vision to a sceptical public? Or will Michael Brown's damning critique prove prophetic, leaving Starmer's proposal dead in the water before it even gets off the ground? If you want to stay updated on this explosive story and all the latest twists in UK politics, hit that subscribe button, give us a like and stay tuned, because the migrant crisis debate isn't going anywhere and we're bringing you every scandalous detail as it unfolds.